Keller, J. Sergeant First Class, serial number 717-8412. Iran, Guatemala, Colombia, Croatia. Very impressive.
I know what you're trying to do, sir. It ain't gonna work.
No, Sergeant Keller, you don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm here to clean up this mess. If you cooperate. If I walk out that door, everything you did will be declassified. You will be convicted, you will be discharged, you will spend the rest of your life in prison. Very well, Sergeant. Have it your way.
Wait. What do you want me to do?
Tell me everything you know about Seventh Wave.
Weapons dealers. Heavy hitters dealing mostly in high-spec, former Eastern Bloc hardware. Clients began to include terrorist cells. Seventh Wave was escalated to priority status after they took out 9 agency spooks. Coordinated executions. Division wanted Seventh Wave taken out with extreme prejudice. Intel zeroed in on 3 possible targets. Valencia was the boss. Reuben and Yevtushenko were the muscle. 3 teams were tasked with the overwatch until it was time to take them out. I had one of those teams. Intel suspected the Brits, Chinese, and Israelis had teams in the area. Everyone was after these guys.
Who was the 4th man?
Gunfire. Didn't think much of him at the time.
What went wrong?
We got made.
Hammerhead 6-2, this is Alpha 2-9. We have eyes on 2-5. Hammerhead 6-2, this is 2-5. We're pinned down. I have multiple casualties. Request priority medevac on my location. 5-1, this is 3-1. I'm on the other side of the block. I'm coming to you now. Over.
Alright, hi everyone. This is Lazy Fire. Welcome to Black, if you haven't figured out that's the game. I'm going to just give you a quick rundown of what this game is while we go through this tutorial section at the start of the game. Maybe I'll learn to shoot along the way. This is a 2006 first-person shooter, as you can probably tell from the perspective and all. Made by Criterion, published by EA. Now,
5-1, 5-1, this is Hammerhead 6-2.
This guy.
Attack advises streets barricaded to the north. We are circling around you to find an alternate route, over.
Copy that, 6-2.
So this is Criterion's first and I believe only attempt at a first-person shooter. How it comes off is really dependent on how you feel about it as a title. It's, I would say, pretty damn playable and pretty good for the most part. Towards the end of the game, just fuck this game. But that guy just flew through the window. But it came out for the Xbox and for the PlayStation 2 in 2006, and then look at all that explosion. Then in 2008, I want to say, they re-released a version for the Xbox 360. But EA never really wanted to make a sequel, and they still hold the rights to it, so they could decide to take Criterion off of the Need for Speed franchise and put them back on a new one of these.
Casualties! Request priority medevac on my location!
But I don't think they'll do that.
Your last, we did not copy.
Alright. Yes, I've played through this level before, why do you ask? The game is usually not too ambushy like that. For the most part, you're going to be going pretty linearly through these levels. But one of the things I really do want to point out early on here is the giant magazines your guns have.
This is 2-5, I say again. We're pinned down, we're pinned down. I have multiple casualties. Request priority medevac on my location.
That's a
Copy that.
60-round AK magazine. These are, like, when you hear somebody say, like, oh, it's video game numbers, they mean it's video game numbers. That's how this works, or everything but the shotguns. Now, Now, while we're up here, we could actually pick up a hidden weapon. Let's do that real quick. I'm going to pick up the shotgun again immediately, though, because that Uzi is just no good for this level. So, one of the neat things about all this is that if you watch when I aim at these guys, friendlies here, but the guy further out, you're seeing I'm not getting the red dot that you might have seen before. Now, if these guys are close enough, though, well, I can't show that off. Hold on. Oh, here.
DC receiving heavy fire. Multiple hostiles inbound from 5-1's location. Request AC-130 gunship support.
Don't worry, that AC-130 doesn't help anything.
QRF is en route to reinforce. Rally on their position and do what you can.
So yeah, you can see here the shotgun has like 0 range. But hey, AK works pretty well. Now, the thing about the game is that you are gonna need to be smart about how you expel these magazines. Oh, I'm getting some weird freezing here. Didn't get that before. Because basically the guns bounce a lot. Actually, I have plenty of ammo now. But they bounce, and any distance from an enemy is not always going to give you the best results. And this becomes especially problematic for the player later in the game when, I mean, these guys right now are tutorial enemies. They don't do enough damage to make me actually worried. I could run into that room with very, very few worries if I wanted to. I might. But yeah, like when you have to put like 8 bullets into somebody's head at point blank to actually do damage, which is what some of the later enemies are like, you gotta be careful with your ammo. You don't want this thing bouncing everywhere because these guys will tear you apart later on. Like when they start just bodying you with SMGs, it's kind of an issue. Alright. Now you saw me pick up a blueprint earlier and get a note about, hey, you picked up one of these intel objectives. There's a few of those throughout the game, and coming up on another one.
Package has roped in. We are standing by moving pattern. Over.
This room is probably what's going to kill some people early on. Enemies will be up top, and you'll walk in here and just get them.
Copy that. On station.
Now the great thing is that I have grenades. You can carry a stupid number of grenades, just like you can carry a stupid number of bullets and very large magazines. The game just really wants you to use the explosives and the other tools at your disposal at any given time, which I think is a good thing. One of my problems with it, though, is that if you get too grenade happy, yeah. Yes, you will also notice that at times I will ignore my own advice about how to approach enemies. Panic firing is totally allowed. You saw there I actually finally used the health pack. Those are not in short supply, and you can see I have all these I have all these health packs from the enemies that are on the ground, those first aid kits. So those will restore some of your health, and then the health packs that you carry around, the 3 of those, will restore, like, I think 2/3 at one shot. So at any time you can heal to full if you're down near the bottom, and they're basically instant. Like anything that you incur while the health pack is charging up is just mortgaged against your total health, instead of being like a
RPG in the tower.
Okay. Ugh, that RPG though. We're gonna do something here that you're gonna see me do a lot because I'm playing this on an emulator. I am safe stating. Why? Because this curve will occasionally just decide that you are an enemy and not let you pass. Now, yeah, I could have shot the guy, but why? This game wants you to blow stuff up and wreck things, so I am here to oblige. Aha! It's the pole. I always forget it's the pole. Well, here we are again. Let's see how we could have done that differently. Neat. Okay. I mean, why not use the RPG? To clear these guys out especially, it takes one shot into the front of that building and they are gone. But, honestly, RPGs and some of you get like a grenade launcher in one level, they're just not super useful for what you're trying to do.
They're moving up on the flank! Get over there!
So, yeah, this game has a very rudimentary destruction system as well. You saw it a couple of times already, especially with shooting out the tower there. But there's others, you'll see it in other rooms where there's like facades on columns and everything and they can be shot away. It's not something you saw a lot of at the time this game came out. And it's something that's more akin to like what Battlefield would end up doing years later with like Bad Company 2. So an interesting choice. Now you can see that my crosshair was black there, and I could fire all those rounds into the side of that truck. Fuel tanks are loaded. Black crosshair or black damage dot, whatever this thing is what indicates if something will blow up when shot.
Hammerhead 6-2, this is Echo 5-1. Package has escaped the net. I say again, package has escaped the net. Do any helos have a visual? Over.
Stand by, 5-1.
Now that we made it out of there, let's...
5-1. Do not pursue the package. Hold your position and secure the location.
Be advised, target strike's too still in the perimeter. Target 4 is just ahead of the building west of Bravo team.
So I'm playing this on normal. Not a difficult game on normal for the most part. There's parts of this game that are just brutal. But the early game is quite simple, and you'll see through the next couple of levels that my major enemy is actually going to be geometry. Whatever happened when...
Bravo here, I'm going in.
Whatever happened with the emulation in this game, and by that I mean the emulator's actions towards this game, I don't know what it is, but for some reason it just, like...
Moving to intercept.
Has some...
Hold your position, Bravo.
It has some very weird interactions
I'm moving out.
with the world. Not game breaking, but because of the way this game's save system works, you can get sent back to the start of a 20-30 minute level in seconds. Alright, so you saw there I could shoot that door, but it didn't knock down. Difference in the texture and everything like that. You see, you can't just open every door, which is unfortunate. But yeah, that's the first level of black. I didn't pick up any blackmail. Oh, my mistake. But I did pick up that Uzi, so I get a point there, get a mission complete, got all the enemies, did it in just 10 minutes. Been recording for much longer than that for other reasons. So yeah, that's the first level of black. Now we're gonna do the second level as the other part of this video, and that one is a little bit more complex. The training wheels come off immediately on that level, yeah, we're gonna get a cutscene before that though. So I'll see you on the other side of that. Also, yeah, this border crossing. Border crossing is a fun level. Like I said, you'll see it in a moment. Let me just keep hitting the button until it gets to the damn cutscene I promised you. Jesus Christ, just do a thing. Forgot about how weird this game is. Now, at any time, I can go back to the other levels that I've unlocked through my profile. So if I wanted to go back and do that first level again, I would be able to. So that's not a bad thing. Before we go in there, let's just save in case something goes wrong. It's been a little jumpy. Oh my god, just go.
You were specifically told to hold, but you didn't. Why?
Charlie team was down. I wasn't gonna let this guy get away. The hallway and the first floor were clear. I heard movement above, I made my way up. And that's when I saw him.
The fourth guy?
Yeah, the fourth guy.
The after-action report you filed states he got the drop on you. But he doesn't fire. Why?
He was American. Not Russian, not German, not Chechen. American.
Interesting. And how do you know that?
He spoke to me.
And what did this American say to you?
I can't remember. RPG hit the building, everything's blank after that.
And your next assignment?
Doubleheader. Destroy a 7th wave weapons cache and stronghold at Nazran.
You were ordered to RV with a Lieutenant McCarver en route to the objective?
Yes. Would have been a breeze if the maps and the intel on the border crossing wasn't out of date. Only thing right about it was the farm.
Alright, so you can see the story is going to be told almost exclusively in those cutscenes. There's like a single non-live action cutscene in the entire game. Kid you not. And it's bad. It's not good. I can see why they didn't do that. Alright, so we have our stealth.
This is Bravo 3 radio check, over.
We got our stealth option here. Now there are secondary firing options for almost all the weapons in this game. You can also duck, by the way. I haven't really explained that. So for
2-1, do you copy, over? 2-1, do you read me, over? If you copy, I am proceeding to RV, out.
Oh, just so you know, the concept that the radios don't work or are having issues is one that comes up throughout the entire game as a device to have your character do
This
stuff.
is 3, do you copy, over?
Alright. So the stealth in this game is minimal. There's like a couple of times where the game says, hey, you should be stealthy. But honestly, it takes about 4 seconds to just go find a reason to unload on everybody. Obviously, in the early parts of a lot of levels, you should try to be. Let's put the suppressor on our AK here. Yeah, so being stealthy is pretty simple. Just shoot guys before they shoot you, and it's good. Enemy AI in this game is not exactly advanced. They clearly wanted it to feel like a Hollywood movie in a lot of areas. They put a lot of attention on sound design and how levels break apart. Oh yeah, and punching somebody...
3, targets neutralized.
Oops. Now, I don't know how they saw me here. I think it was this guy. But yeah, you know, parts of the level break apart, and you haven't seen much of it yet, but the way the lighting works in this game is actually fairly interesting. Will you stay still? Jesus Christ. That was a lot more damage than I should have taken there. Now, there's no jump button, by the way. You can only duck. It is your one option for movement, which is why getting stuck on things happens so frequently and is so frustrating. Because you can't get out. Like, your only option is to duck underneath it. It's like, it doesn't work. Thankfully, these guys are nice enough to use silencers themselves, so they're not alerting a lot of people. Alright. So we've cleared out, I think, everyone in this area, which is good, easy. Like I said, the game doesn't... It doesn't, like, throw you directly into the hardest situation possible, but it also... doesn't really hold your hand for very long. I don't need a pistol when I have a shotgun. The AK having a suppressor on it, it means that I can still go around and be silent if I have to. Now that punching guys in the back thing to get the kill, useful throughout the game. It can be used on the top level enemies that you get like way later. Oh, you dick. Alright. Can't believe he dodged that shit.
2-1, this is 3. Do you copy?
So one other thing that I should mention, you might have seen it there.
2-1, this is 3. Nothing heard. Proceeding to top out. Over.
Just because somebody's out of the range of the red dot aiming. Hi, guys. Jesus Christ, how many caves are there out here? I usually am better at the stealth part of this area. Anyways, just because they're out of the range of that red dot doesn't mean that you can't hit them. It just means that the gun isn't accurate at that range. So you can fire on them, that's fine. It's going to work most of the time. And there's some exceptions that you would have seen if I kept using the pistol. I could have tried it out there. Just... Okay. That guy just took a headshot. That's bad. Alright. Good. Now I have grenades, which is what I was trying to use on them. So yeah, for the most part, these guys are going to be pretty easy early on, but there are enemies that later on will take multiple headshots to kill. Very annoying. Get out of here. Ooh, oof, oof. That's not a good... That's not good looking. So, let's go get this last guy up here. Ah, hell. They have actual peripheral vision, but they have just no hearing ability or anything like that, so you can just walk right up to them. The stealth in this game, like I said, not exactly advanced, not exactly always needed. But you can see right now a little bit of the how the lighting works. Oh, hi guys. I'm gonna make sure to reset the service after this because I'm not liking the go down to 4 FPS thing that the game is doing right now. You're probably gonna notice a lot of like kind of doppling. Yeah, I need to get out of here. That is bad. I don't know what's going on here. I also haven't ever tried to record this before, so part of that issue. But you can hear just like a lot of discordant sounds right now. And that is, I think, an emulator effect. I think something in the sound engine in this game especially just does not work well with the emulator. Okay. Ah, where are you? Come on, just stay like halfway still. Jesus Christ. So yeah, one of the things I was trying to say about the weaponry in this game a minute ago with regards to that red dot is that the red dot just indicates that you're within prime damage range, prime accuracy range. If you're outside of that range, then the bullets have a much higher chance of not going to the target. And on top of that, they might not actually do the level of damage you could expect if you were, say, point blank. Now, the interesting thing about how this game works is that it does something else that Battlefield would end up doing years later, and they actually render the bullets. So when you fire, it's not hit scan, it actually takes time for the bullet to travel. So let's shoot at that explosive there. Or not. There is actually a maximum range, and I'm probably beyond it. That's especially common with SMGs and pistols and so on. Like the shotgun especially, just if you're too far away from something, it won't actually hit at all. The bullet just disappears. But you can see there, I fired at that thing, and then like slightly later than instantly, it actually causes an impact. And we'll see a lot of that going throughout the game, so there will be some better examples of it. Luckily, individual bullets, unless the walls are specifically coded this way, will not actually blow out walls. So you're safe inside buildings for the most part. Enemies also don't throw grenades in this game, or at least not on normal. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. This game, by the way, loves its explosions. Loves its explosions. So if you see an explosive tank or a barrel or anything like that, use it, because the game wants you to. The game wants you to blow stuff up and to have a good time. Grenades are like the most powerful damn weapon in this game because of that. Not a bad thing if you have grenades. There are certain enemies in this game that if there's no grenades, I kind of just like mentally have given up. Like, oh, I don't have any grenades, and I have these shield guys coming at me. I'm leaving. Just kill me. Here's one of our blackmail objectives. We haven't seen one of these. There we go. You can see I was trying to hit him in the head. Headshots are optimal for almost every enemy you'll see in this game. There's never a reason not to just like pop him in the face if you can. And like I said, there's enemies later in the game that, like, if you're not headshotting them, it's not even a point to fight them. That guy's outside of my range. Got him anyways. Got him too. Nice. Alright, so because health packs, you can only take the 3, I will almost always top up when I've got one at my feet and I'm missing some health. Now, because the game doesn't have a jump feature or a climbing feature or anything like that, a lot of the time you are going to be getting up. That was weak. Get out of here, door. No one likes you. I'm going to be just kind of gated in the levels. Like, you won't be able to go backwards through levels because of like small not inclines, drops. Like, you'll see it very frequently, not so much in this level but in later levels, and that's what makes this game a little bit on the linear side. Now, the interesting thing is that the game also has a lot of areas that have some not confusing pathways, but like, I look at it as not normal ones sometimes, like I don't want to say branching either, but it's just one of those things where you're just, hi, goodbye, where you'll look at it and go, well, I could, I can go right or left here. It doesn't really, I'll get to the same location, but one way might give you the upper hand, and you can't really tell what that way is going to be There's other times where the game will very clearly have a direction that wants you to go in and a secondary path that you can spot and, you know, choose to take. You can avoid some pretty bad ambushes that way. Right now, just checking, there's a blueprint in there. No way to put out fires in this game. Oh, RPG, that's not good. Oh no, it's pistol ammo. Grenades. Oh, hand grenades are fun. Full on everything. Jeez. It's a bounty. Shotgun ammo I should be able to use. I can't get that. I'm not gonna bother. Alright, where is he? Now, the silencer actually, I can't tell if it does anything but change the sound file that plays when you fire a weapon. I don't think it does anything in terms of range and damage. And I'm still using it now, mostly just because it's a little easier to see and hear everything.
Top hat has been negotiated. Continue to block house. Figures 2-0 until RV, over.
Alright. Like, with no weapon flash, just much easier to put the bullets where they need to go without getting confused too much. So, that's why you see me still using it. It's very much a creature comfort for me. Okay, fuck this. Let's just throw a grenade. You notice that the grenades being a very powerful weapon, I'm not going to complain about that. Like I said, enemies don't throw them on normal, so easy enough for me to just toss them out as I need to, and enemies tend to drop grenades in good numbers. They'll always drop ammo, except for a certain type of enemy, the machine gunner. But the grenades are kind of infrequent. So you do have to just be aware of the numbers. Here's the score again.
Continue to block house. Figures 2-0 until RB, over. I say again, figures 2-0 until RB block house has fallen over. Nothing heard, out. 2-1, this is 3RV now. Local stat, over. If you read me, stage 2 now in play. I am moving forward, out.
I have no idea what's causing this. We might actually end this episode a little early so I can go work out the technical difficulties here. Don't think it's anything that's game breaking at the moment. Oh, you jackass. What this game considers somebody's back is always weird to me. I was really coming here for that blackmail objective. Now, if you're wondering what does that actually do for you to get those, absolutely nothing. There's no score, there's unlockable weapons at the end of the game, but it's just from beating the levels. You'll just get them. Alright, good enough. He's dead now. We're actually coming up on, I think, a good break point for this first episode, because this is intolerable, I guess, would be the way to put it. Like, I can't believe that it's doing this, because I've played through this entire game without one hiccup like this. Though I will tell you something funny that almost made me not do this LP, and that is that when I started playing this, I'm obviously using a controller and a PS2 emulator. I actually thought that there was something wrong with the controls, and I spent, I don't know.
Blockhouse now, checking the yard, over.
I spent, I would say, about 2 weeks trying to play this game and thinking I just couldn't. Like, this game is not going to be LPable because I thought there was something wrong with the controls. For whatever, I'm going to take this shot, I think. I almost had the timing on that right. Well, will you stay?
This is 3. I have heavy forces defending Blockhouse. Over. I say again, I have heavy forces defending Blockhouse. Proceeding to objective will advise shortly. Out.
So you saw there that the RPG has some crazy good range. I don't think it has any sort of drop to it. I think I actually shot through the window of that guard tower. But yeah, it's a nice weapon to have. Let's toss a grenade out over there. Now, that said, I will drop it immediately if another shotgun comes up. Because frankly, it's a good weapon. It works well. But situationally, not the best. Now, there are options to go underneath this bridge and around it, and there's stuff down there, actually, if you want to take the time. But why do that when I can blow people up on a bridge? Now, I believe this is actually some cover that will fall away. You can see the boxes that I'm firing at. These guys are hiding behind are falling apart a little bit. And so that's always good. That's fun to see. As the game goes on, destructible stuff gets actually more frequent and more common. Just toss a nade out there. Here, that did it.
This is 3. I'm taking out hard targets in the area.
Not gonna let him do anything. Hey, notice the animation that I have every time I switch weapons, like flipping up the sight on the RPG, pulling the bolt back on the AK. Those actually, interestingly enough, if you're being fired at and you're not in cover, the game seems to have some sort of system that knows when you don't want that to be happening. You just saw there how useless firing a lot of rounds at a distance is. I couldn't even see him. It's one of the things about the lighting in this game is that it just sometimes will completely obscure certain things. And before I start recording the next episode, I should probably mess with the brightness because you'll miss stuff. There's also no subtitle option in this game, which I find interesting. Subtitles are definitely around in video games and fairly common as a option by this point, but not in this one. Anyways, the thing I was talking about with the controller was actually that what was happening was I had some form of input selected.
Blockhouse made safe. Minimal resistance. Proceeding to RV.
Minimal resistance. So yeah, I had a setting enabled that I just didn't know it was a problem. It was apparently not doing a one-to-one translation of everything I was doing, so I just couldn't aim. Movement was a little odd, so I just thought this game was maybe unplayable. And then I, just messing with the controls and messing with the sensitivity, found that other option. It's like, oh, this is making a lot more sense. I can actually play this game. And I just sat down and beat it in 2 sessions after that. So I played 2/3 of this game just completely unable to use the controller and thinking it was torture. But I remember it from, when it first came out and when I first played it, and it was a lot better then. I knew that the controls for this game were not like that when I played it. I wouldn't have beaten it when it was new if it was like that. if you don't start behaving, game, I swear to God I will turn this LP around. Actually, this is a good spot. Because this fight upcoming here, this is probably the first spot where you'll consistently get stuck trying to go over a texture object. And, well, I don't really want to do that at the end of this video and complain. So anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you in the next one where we go and take out that facility up ahead. Bye.